Hey guys, just want to make a quick video on here about my current thoughts and feelings about Season 10 of Smallville. Now, as a final season, I like what they're doing so far. I like the guest stars. However, I think they're lacking on the storyline so far. And it seems like what they're doing is, unless they have something up their sleeves, it seems like they haven't thought that far ahead on what they want to do with the end of the show. So, I'm just afraid they're going to make the same mistake they made in Season 5, where they introduced a character, Brainiac, and they did nothing with him until like the beginning, the middle of the show, and then they introduced the thought of Zod. They didn't explain who he was, they just mentioned Zod. And then nothing happened for the rest of the show, and then at the end of the season, that's when they bring Zod to Earth, reincarnated as Lex. And it's like, we waited a whole season for you to do something. Now, I don't want that to happen with this season. I like Darkseid as a villain, so they need to do something major with Darkseid soon. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for next week's episode, which is called Abandoned, I believe, check it out. Because they're bringing in a vital character that is associated with Darkseid, and now that they're doing that, hopefully they'll get the ball rolling and bring in more of Darkseid's goons, or maybe Darkseid himself. I don't know. Now, another kind of problem I have that I have with this season is the Clark and Lois storyline, the Clois one, if you will. Is I like how they're in love. And I like how Clark told her everything, but I have to ask, what now? You know, in earlier seasons when Clark and Lana, when they would kiss, you know, that would be exciting. And then when Clark would almost tell Lana his secret, that'd be exciting, but eventually let down. And it's like when they first, you know, made love, it was exciting. You were like, oh my gosh, you know, Clark Kent would never do this. But you know, after the beginning of Ambush, last week's episode, it makes me wonder, where can they go from here? Are they going to stay happily ever after for the rest of the season? Or are they going to break up temporarily just to get back together? You know, even stronger. I don't know. Another thing that I wanted to say is, in this season, because it's the final season, they need to have an all-out war with Darkseid. They need to make it, you know, battle scenes, you know, action-packed. The budget for this season should go out the window because it's the final one. They need to end with a bang. Also, as far as the guest stars go, there are some people that I would like to see in this season. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will be in the season, but there are people that I would like to be in the season. One is I would like them to bring back Pete. Now, Pete's character might not have a big role in this season, but hey, it's the final season. And who honestly can say that they knew Kara was coming back? Or Lois's dad? Also, I would like them to bring back some people from past episodes, like some members of the Justice League, or what's going to be the Justice League. They need to bring back Black Canary. If you know your Green Arrow history, you know why. They should bring back Flash or Bart or whatever his name is. They should also bring back Aquaman. And what I think they should do is, since they've already mentioned the original Green Lantern in Season 9 when they did the episode Absolute Justice, I think they should bring in Hal Jordan, whether he's a Green Lantern at this point, you know, whether he is or not, I'd be okay with. They could make him, you know, they could have an air show in Smallville, and the announcer could say, hey, there goes Hal Jordan. They should do something, because that's the one member of the Justice League, because they're not going to introduce Wonder Woman or Bruce Wayne, that they should introduce. Also, how they should end this season. Now, I look at this season the same way I do the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Star Wars Episode 3. Now, I say that because they're both origin stories as well. And the only problem I have with origin stories is some characters have to get killed off or they have to go away. Now, if you remember back to Star Wars, the first 3 episodes, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Count Dooku, all really cool and likable characters for some, but they weren't mentioned in the movies that we think of when we think of Star Wars. 4, 5, and 6, they're not mentioned. So I hate to break it to you guys, but Tess Mercer, Chloe Sullivan, Lionel Luthor, in the comics and in the movies, they didn't exist. So I have a feeling that Chloe, we won't see her. Now, if they bring her back for the final episode and then do away with her, that's fine. But in the Superman story, they're nowhere to be found. Sorry, guys. Also, a question I've been having recently about Smallville is Smallville really an origin story anymore? Because, in Season 3, Christopher Reeve said that, in an interview, that Smallville takes place at the beginning of Superman 1, when Clark is a little kid running alongside in the train and being on the football team. He said that's what Tom Welling does. That's Smallville. And he said, I took over and I did Superman after he's grown up. Now, I liked Smallville when it was seasons 1 through 4, 1 through 5. So I was like, okay, if they want to, they could probably wrap up the show here. But every season it seems like they leave open for another season, which is something I hope they don't do for this one. Now, back in the early seasons, when Chloe first mentioned her cousin Lois Lane, and when she first mentioned that she lost her virginity to a boy named Jimmy who works at the Daily Planet, and when we first saw, the S-type symbol, that was really cool. But now, it's like they're playing hangman with us, and the only letters they have missing out of the word Superman is the U and the A. It's like, do you guys get it yet? Do you guys get it? That he's Superman? Huh? Do we have to show him flying? Do you guys get it? It's like, when does it stop becoming an origin story and start becoming the Superman that we know and love? And I don't understand, because General Zod is, when he was in the show, was Major Zod. Now, that's cool and everything, but it's like, right now, what's going on with Clark and Lois really isn't an origin story. It's really what happened in Lois and Clark, after Clark Kent became Superman. So it's like, what are they doing? So, if you guys have any thoughts or any corrections on what I've said, let me know, because, I don't like my knowledge to be wrong or incorrect. Also, one last thing. The way I think they should end this season. Now, not only do I think they should go out with a bang, but the way I think they should end it, if they end it this way, I'd be really excited. I'd be happy. I would consider this show the best show ever if they did this. Now, if you haven't seen Superman, the old Superman movies, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Superman Returns, that's okay. It would help you better understand some of the characters that have been in the show, like Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. But if you haven't seen the movies, that's fine. Go back, watch the movies, or at least the last minute before the credits. Now, there's a scene where they end all the movies of Superman flying in space, like in the atmosphere, like he's controlling the Earth or something. He's flying. And there's a scene where he gets up to the camera and he puts up his arms and he turns, and then he flies off into the horizon, I believe. That's how they end the movies. Now, if they ended the show like that, I would love it. Now, they don't necessarily have to show Tom Welling's face if they don't think he's ready to be Superman, but that's what they should do, in my opinion. Now, also one more thing. real quick. People that I think should be brought back because they're important to the story, or because they were in Superman TV shows or movies, is I think they should bring back Michael Rosenbaum, of course, Kevin Spacey, and Gene Hackman. Now, I know Michael Rosenbaum, it's been debated whether or not he's coming back. I say in Smallville, anything is possible. If you're a fan of the Saw movies, you'll know what I'm talking about, of how somebody was petitioned and argued and wanted to return to the series, and, you know, ask and you shall receive. So, that's my video for this so far. If you guys like this video, I might make another one. But, so far, those are my thoughts on the show so far. So, enjoy the rest of Season 10, and I will see you guys later.